Welcome back, everyone, to the North American Challengers League. Game number 1 already done, and of course, Myra, I'm going to start looking into your direction. How are you feeling about your boys?
Sometimes you lose games. We were playing a scaling comp into a comp that wants to snowball, and the one thing you don't want to do when that happens is give them an early lead, and the thing happened, so that's fun. But I don't know. I think we can come back in game 2. We don't have to overthink it. It's just refresh your mind, hop in game 2. Don't have to freak out. It's chill.
You were talking a little bit during the break. We were having a discussion about getting NXI more agency. What do you think that really entails? Because it did feel like the draft was okay.
No, I think the drafts are perfectly fine. I think like you just take away nameplates. Like those drafts are just even. They have different goals and what they want to accomplish, and they have different avenues of how to win the game and timings of how to win the game. The thing is, like, I think like NXI thrives when he's like the guy in terms of like piloting fights and our sort of mid-game rotations in terms of like he's the guy with the gold, he's the guy with the damage, like Kindred, Graves, other picks I don't want to leak.
Just like, say he's the guy.
He's the guy. He likes being the guy. But, you know, like, we fell behind, and I think it was hard for us, based on how we usually play, to navigate it once we just started bleeding. But I don't think we need to change draft. I just think, you know, if we are, I think you just put a little more agency on NXI. I don't think draft was the issue at all.
Yeah, I think. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, Beep.
I was gonna say, I think I agree with that, especially because even you saw attempts from CLG Faith trying to get back into the game, and there are avenues where they really could have, and even with that unlucky ace coming through here, I think there's still something to be said about how they were able to, how they tried to navigate their way back. Yeah, like you said, you know, sometimes you lose games.
Sometimes you lose.
I don't know about you, but I checked my Twitter in between games, and CLG just guilted the living daylights out of me for being swayed so easily. So I have to go back to my faith. I have to put all my CLG merch, make sure it's in frame, make sure it's in picture. I gotta channel as much energy to the faith age as possible. Beat, what's going on here?
Give me a shirt, I'll wear it.
Esports, Beat.
Wait, what do you mean? I don't have any. I actually don't have any esports merch except for like very old 2018 Overwatch merch that nobody, even me, wants to see.
See, look at that. Look at that. We got a tweet coming in. CLG faithful, rise up. Kangas. Wait, is he? Hold on. Let me look. Is he doing the other broadcast? I think he is.
Kangas is in the.
He's in the other broadcast.
Yeah, he's in the other broadcast.
Kangas, I know you can still hear me just because of our bald telepathic connection, but I need your energy to be funneled over here as well.
That's how that works?
Yeah.
Apparently. The hair is obviously interfering with the signals, I guess.
We need the power of NACL Dugtrio.
Don't look at me.
All right. Let's get ourselves focused back into this game and what we should expect to see different. I want to throw it your way. What do Cincinnati Fear do now that they're continuing their momentum forward?
I mean, from a draft standpoint, like Myra's already said it, there's nothing really to change if you're either team. I'd imagine you see Cincinnati try to go for something similar. Maybe they do something different. It all depends on what they're thinking going into that next game and how likely they think they are to succeed again. I think the thing to really look at is what will CLG Fear do, or CLG Faith, excuse me, going into that next game. Because I think ultimately, even though I agree, you probably want to see NXI on something more, mechanical, really flex his capabilities. I could see this draft being ran back as well, and I could see a different outcome.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that is that, like, that fight, like, if we engage like maybe a half a second later, where Cassante is closer to the teammates, I think that's a much closer fight. Whether it's a split down like three die on each team, whether we ace them, I don't know. But, like, it just seemed like that was like the little moment that split it up, and then somehow Camille kills someone on the top tower. I don't know what happened there, but it was one of those things where, like, there was an avenue to win it, and they got a lead, and, like, I mean, Faisal Ferry, like, shoutouts to them. I don't want to be biased and everything. Like, I like them. They're good players. They took the lead, and they just kind of snowballed us, and Wukong kept smashing us, so... And when Wukong Camille fly in with an Orianna ball on you, and they have a lead, it's kind of hard to navigate.
Yeah.
Now, over in the bot lane, we didn't talk about this much during the pre-shows. We had to head over to draft, but How is this situation with Sketch going down into support role? How much time did you have for preparation for Sketch and Plex?
A day. A day or two before scrims. The fact of the matter was the situation was quick. Like we tweeted about it. There's a statement. Like we just wanted the best for BMFX, so we navigated through that. Thankfully, Sketch and Plux have a lot of familiarity playing with each other, and Sketch has been an AD carry the vast majority of his career, so this is a very easy, immediate stop the bleeding fix. Obviously there's a little bit of scuffness, like, oh, I was just practicing support for 4 months, now I gotta play AD carry, that's great. But it's not like we're just pulling someone out of the woodworks, right? Like, they've played together on multiple teams before, they're good friends, like, I honestly, like, this is probably the best Band-Aid solution we could have done. So we're navigating like what we want to do in the future, but like I don't think this is contributing to like the results at all. I think we just flipped a fight, and they got a lead, and Fear was really good about snowballing it. So I think the bot lane was doing fine. Like, obviously that lane gets pushed into this area, but like, everything was, it wasn't like an issue about that. So I think it's been a fine change.
I think I agree with that, and that's why I think, like, even though this game looked quite hard stomp from Cincinnati Fear, I think the next game's going to be a lot closer. I think it's going to be a lot closer, and apparently the Twitch audience doesn't think so, because it's 100% Cincinnati Fear right now.
Myra, would you say they've lost faith?
I have lost faith. It's messed up, What's our motto? Keep the faith.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can bring some back. Hopefully we can perform after that game and get some more fans in Twitch chat.
Yeah.
I know that the score was. Hey, there's some. I know the score was. Oh, there they go. I know the score was a bit lopsided, but in all reality, it was just that one play, and then Fear just capitalized on it well. We tried to dig back a little bit, but like they snowballed really well. So shout outs to them. I mean, they played well.
All right, last chance in Twitch chat to go ahead and spam who you think will take the dub. CLG Faith on the back foot right now. Need to get one win to tie this one up, or else Fear are just going to keep running it. Well, we are getting ready for the draft of game number 2, so we're going to head to that right now. See you on the other side, Myra.
Adios.
All right. Game number 2. Let's just run it back. Let's just run back the same exact draft.
I could see it. I could really see it. Like, I am not joking when I say like that. Like, Myra is right. That first fight, that ace coming through here, that's where things really fell apart. That doesn't happen. That happens differently. Very different game is what we're looking at. But all we can do is watch, wait, and see what these teams are looking to run for this next game here. Cincinnati Fear, continuing a really good showing so far in the earlier parts of NACL. They're 2-1 right now. They have that positive record, and they're just looking to make it 3.
Yeah, really a great week 1 start for Cincinnati Fear, and it continues. That first game that we had, they could get 2-0 onto the day and leave a 3-1 record on the week against both a provisional team and a fixed team. That would feel quite nicely. One more ban to come through, and not going to get too much of a shakeup on the ban changes, but the Rise is going to be one that will not hit the map, and CLG Faith respond by grabbing Karma right away.
So interesting. They're going to be able to grab that one for themselves. There's a couple. Well, they could go Ashe. They could technically go Jhin. There's a lot of options there for the bot side, and even what we've seen is some solo lane Karma coming through as well. That could be something Serenok ends up piloting, but for the moment, Shochi is going to go ahead and pick something very obviously meant for the mid lane, and it is going to be the Syndra, and I like it 'cause she's in such a good spot right now, and it's a great blind.
And you're pairing it with Perry's Vi, and Vi, that point and click CC that does come through, complemented so well with the Scatter of the Week. Shochi can bring the pain. Perry's already someone we talked about in Proving Grounds, but Shochi had such a memorable win against 100 Thieves Next back on Taco Gaming. Fantastic player. True. And you got such a strong mid-jungle duo right here.
Oh, and he did it on the Zed too, which was so crazy.
Yeah.
But overall, we're talking about an XI, seeing that, he's a player we know, very mechanical. Will they give him more of that agency? Well, Kindred, and not only that, we have our confirmation. It is solo lane Karma So, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. This is something we used to see in the past where you pick a hard carry jungler and you just have 2 supports. And it's just insane. The shielding, the sustain that this Kindred is going to go. CLG Faith switching it up for game 2.
I like it. It's a good look for NXI. It's going to be a good take for CLG Faith. For Cincinnati Fear, however, look at all this pick that just keeps piling on every time they do a draft. We talked about Scatter of the Week, point and click CC with the Vi. Well, now the Ashe has been locked in for Cincinnati Fear. Enchanted Crystal Arrow across the map, still find the pick.
Listen, say what you want about Vi as a champion, but in comp play 5s, you have Ashe, Vi, Syndra, and you're an AD carry player, or you're a carry player, you hate yourself. Because you literally, there is so little for you to be able to do if you get hit by one of those abilities. And it's just a difficult thing to deal with. Luckily, a lot of the shielding and sustain coming through from this double support might allow NXI and Sketch to be able to make something happen here. We are getting confirmation that Cincinnati Fear did not use their 4th ban. Time ran out on them, and well, skill issue.
Unlucky. Got to think quick. Got to have things ready for that draft.
Yeah.
We'll call it a coach diff onto this one. Locally, you're winning out this time. As we head into this next phase of it, I already said, like, this is going to be a nightmare to dodge how much pick coming out from here, because imagine, put yourself into Plux's shoes, right? Oh, here comes Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Step to the left, dodge it. Here comes the Scatter of the Week. Step to the right, dodge it. Oh, here comes a Vi coming at my face full speed.
Yeah,
There's
do you
no
have
stepping.
QSS? Unless you have QSS, sorry. Have a sick one. And honestly, the Cincinnati Fear losing their ban is kind of unlucky because there's still a few options that Bajani could go for topside. Gragas is a really good one because of the ability to engage and disengage, more importantly, on the side of Cincinnati Fear. You want to be able to create that space. And at this point, okay, Cassante is a pretty good pick. I was thinking Ornn, keep up the scaling, but maybe it's not enough damage is what CLG Faith are thinking there. And they are going to lock in the Pride of Nazuma.
You're up with your lore. I love it.
Dude, I love this champion, bro. I listen to that music all the time. It's so great. I get like Black Panther vibes. It's awesome.
Yeah, I will say one of the best champion themes in quite some time.
It's the best champion team. Fight me. Fight me right now.
All right, next pick coming in as Cassante was locked in. The next that CLG Faith will look at will be towards the bottom side. Tristana Hover. Tristana lock in for Sketch Streams.
You know what? That's pretty good. That's actually really good. All things considered, looking on Cincinnati Faith's side, one, it's a champion Sketch is very familiar with from this time when he was focusing on AD carry, and it's nice because a lot of the CC Cincinnati Fear has, you can buffer it with the rocket jump, so it adds that element of safety, so at least you can avoid something coming through here, and sometimes that something is enough for you on the side of CLG Faith. So overall, and it's a champion that Sketch played a lot, like I was saying, and I remember even when he had played for Cincinnati Fear, funny enough, during the open qualifiers in PGCQ last year. And this was what we talked about a lot with him, that when he plays the Tristanas, the Jinxes, things like that, that is where he really shines. And yeah, he's been playing support for the last couple of months, but now he's welcoming AD carry back like an old friend.
But you know what's not that friendly? It's what's opposite of the Rift. As we
Renata
have
is not friendly.
A Renata locked in. We were talking about, you dodge Scatter of the Week, you dodge all this, that Vi comes at your face, and now you're fighting your own teammates. This pick into Skirmish that Cincinnati Fear complemented so well with this Renata.
Agreed. And I think the disengage and also engage, it just adds to the list of things that the threats the Cincinnati Fear have. CLG, you can see they have a lot of shielding, and they have, honestly, a good bit of mobility, especially on their carries. So there's a lot of ways for them to be able to play this one out. And much like what we saw in the first series of the day with TSM's comp in Game 2, Cincinnati Fear, a lot of upfront burst, a lot of all-in pick potential. When that's gone, what do they have? CLG Faith, they're built for longer fights, more DPS, lots of sustain. So if they can weather that storm, CLG will get the win they want.
As you can see, Unfaithful is the Twitch chat right now. Going very handily over to Fear, and the strong bias at that. Look at this coming out from Fear, however, on an early invade. Just looking to get a little bit of poke damage on early beat.
Yeah, that's how it'd be. At least it's early enough that...
Beat.
That's right. That would be where you... Oh, interesting. So they're going to get them on the walk. I actually like that a lot. I'm pretty sure, one, I was going to say being backing early like that isn't a big deal, but because there's no vision, and the fact that this level 1 from Ash Renata is actually going to be strong enough to force out summoner spells, it's a good position that they're going to be going for here. And because they warded Tribush, this confrontation is happening no matter what, Eric, and Sketch and Plux don't know that.
I love this from Fear. They're playing aggressive. They're playing with this fog of war, and they're gonna make CLG. They're gonna make their life hell. NXI still trying to clear away his red buff. Plux is gonna discover it right now. There's Trevor and Minui, but Sketch does not care. Will Rocket jump right in and take it back to Trevor? Trevor runs low. Trevor the chase. You need one more auto to take him down. So close it was. What a level 1 to start us off, and Minui's not gonna let this end. The slow's coming out. The slow's coming out. It's forcing the flash out of Sketch. Minui, this cheeky trap set in the bot lane try. It pays dividends.
Wow. Summoner spell flowed, but Sketch and Plux get the worst end of that deal. Really smart from Minui and Trevor. And even worse, NXI took the time. It is clear to try and help. And I mean, of course, it makes a lot of sense, but the fact that it didn't work is so brutal. You're losing out on so much gold XP to this bottom turret. Sketch and Plux are essentially in the dirt right now and have to crawl their way out of it. NXI is only just now getting to his top side. I mean, Perry's playing Vi, so luckily it isn't as bad as playing against something like Graves or Hecarim. I mean, minute 1, Cincinnati Fear came to play.
I need to take you to this bidding war going off in the tweets right now. Now we have to send a hat and a jersey too. You drive a hard bargain, Resurrect.
They want you, man. What can I say? You're popular.
Goodness, bribing the casters for their bias.
Be popular.
Now, let's take an eye onto NXI right now, because Kindred is one of those pocket picks that NSI has pulled out quite a few times. I remember seeing it a lot in scouting grounds. Yeah. The last big win that NXI had with Kindred was actually against CLG Academy when he was on FlyQuest. And funny, pulling it out in CLGF.
Yeah, and I mean, farm-wise, he's doing... Oh, gonna hold that thought. Goodbye, Plux. I'll miss you.
Sorry, Plux. First blood going over to Minui. That's all that hard work that Minui and Trevor put in for that level 1 paying off.
Yeah, because like you're so behind in XP, you're not even in a position where you get to walk up and ward that bush. That's kind of a thing where blue side kind of betrays you as well, considering that that brush you need to ward in these situations here. But at least on the top side, Faisal is threatened, and NXI is going to help the Johnny get that wave in. Oh, wow. It's going to... Just a nice little standoff as they recall. I like it.
No, bro, I just want to go home. Me too. Let's head.
Like, you know what? Let's just what's it called? Gentleman's agreement? Like, yep.
Yeah. All right, eventually they'll get back up there, but Johnny's not going to use the teleport to get back up there, so we'll have a slight advantage into that end. Faisal opting that to get back into lane as fast as possible, because you got to get this Jax farming. That is a call in the inventory of Faisal.
Yeah, and I think Faisal already has the idea. I mean, Faisal's the player who really good weak side top laner. Really good at basically playing his role. If he's not getting a lot of resources, he will play his life really well and control waves to a point where he's not going to be losing out on very much. And that's why in this situation, he's like, yeah, you know what? I'll be on my own for a while. Might as well buy the call. I'm chilling.
Trevor roaming out is going to catch Serenok at a bad time. Ooh, catches him with the handshake. Serenok critically low, not long for this world. Beautiful rotation coming out from Trevor to catch.
And that's just, again, continuing off the advantages that Minui and Trevor earned early on. Very easy for them to be able to just roam first, and Plux is, for the moment, just going to be behind in this situation. NXI?
Yeah, NXI in the river trying to dance around, but all this pressure waiting for the cooldown to hop over the wall, and NXI will, but this leaves Plux all by his lonesome, and Perry with the flash will pop the Yordle.
Oh, man, and you can tell the pressure is on. Look. Oh, wait a minute, Sketch. Hello.
Sketch is so vicious. You can get a reset right there. You need the pick onto Shochi, but won't get the kill. Oh, Sketch. Wild Turtle was last game, brother. You're doing a great impression.
He's doing a Sketch impression. That's what we're seeing right there, Eric, and I love it. He's trying his best to get them back into this one, but that is, oh, brutal. Okay, he manages to get the rocket jump back. That's pretty big deal there, but overall, despite CLG's best efforts, you can see it. 3-0 on the scoreboard. Cincinnati Fear are currently running the map, and your best bet is for members like Sketch and NXI being able to farm things up. And it's worth noting, Vijani doing a really good job in this top lane matchup.
Taking another look at this rotate out coming out from Trevor. I mean, it was on the reset as well, and Trevor just rotates straight to the mid lane. I don't think you got to be expecting coming in because it's so easy for something like a Syntro to get that pick, but the prize right here is what comes immediately after. Fear just keep cashing in.
Look what NXI is doing here. They don't know that Perry is nearby, I'm pretty sure, and the big thing there is he's looking for that 1v1. You can tell the pressure is on for CLG that he would try something like that, and had it worked out, it would have been a great pickup, but instead, doesn't amount to anything really. He gets his life, but Flux doesn't. And despite Sketch's best efforts, no answering back made here. But at least look at Kindred. Even in CS, the top side of this map for CLG is in a good position here. And because in this composition, you're really looking for NXI as much as Sketch to be able to carry things out. The game is not doomed by
no way. Dive. Oh, so close it was to taking down Sketch. Ooh, was that a level up at the same time that I think I just saw? And I saw that burst of HP that went through.
Yeah. I think that might have been a contributor. I think the flash was definitely the biggest contributor.
Oh, yeah.
Though.
Definitely.
You gotta love that. Ooh.
Ball breaker. NXI, don't check that bush. Good boy. There we go.
That is some sixth sense, and you love to see it. Especially now with that ward, he's like, whoa, I made the right call.
Wait a second. Oh, NXI realizing what's in there now, but Parry no longer wants to stay resident.
Oh, the ult!
That bush in the top side, the ult comes out. And Johnny pulling Parry right back in, and NXI will be able to pick off his opposing jungler.
And the timing immediately marked by NXI immediately marked Parry and managed to get that Hunter's Mark going through here. This is what you want. Collect gold, collect marks so this Kindred can scale up. And this Rift Herald is another perfect pickup. And Johnny really taking control of this top side. And it's worth noting too, because when we saw this matchup earlier on into the day, with Hoon and Hanser was running the matchup with the Jax.
Wow. Look at this path.
Oh, he saw him. Okay. That makes perfect sense.
And that was such a good path too, but NXI barely on the tip.
That's what you call COD timing or Valorant timing. You know, it's just like, damn, it was a good thought from Perry, but it was unlucky. And a nice play from Vijani, who actually took the flash when we see a lot of Casantes take Ghost.
Yeah, it takes the flash to make sure that Perry is going nowhere. Great little roam, great little jungle gank. Loved everything about it. NXI has to stop the bleeding elsewhere.
And we're just getting word that while we were watching the replay, Flux was forced to flash, and this only gets worse as Perry is looking for NXI.
Oh, Scatter the Weak, slapping NXI right across the face. 4 members, Cincinnati Fear, preying onto this bottom lane. Flux and Sketch. Ooh, there's no place like home. There's no place like home. They want to get out of this. Here comes the hostile takeover. Forced to fight each other and get deleted. Oh, so quickly by Cincinnati Fear.
And that's just so well done, so well coordinated. This is what we keep highlighting with this roster. And it's just so beautifully executed as they manage to just continue snowballing this lead once again. And Faisal, careful, buddy.
I'm going to tell Bijani to be careful.
Yeah?
Faisal clutches these, man. Let's see. Put our money down. Who's shaving their head?
What? I'm not betting. You're crazy. I'm not betting that. I'm just saying.
I'll shave my head if Bijani wins.
That's not a real bet. You have no hair.
Beat, that's offensive. I'm gonna tell Kangas, that's it.
I hope you tell. I'll tell him right now. I'll DM him right now and just say bald Pepe points or whatever that emote's called. You think I won't?
Trevor's roaming up towards the top side. I don't want to get defeated in this conversation anymore. Flash coming out from Faisal. Bajani's locked down, but Bajani fights back. It's not enough to win the fight. Faisal takes the dub.
One on record that doesn't count because he had help. But a really nice roam coming through from Trevor. This is what? Anyways, Perry. You know what? I'll miss you, Sketch. Been a good run.
It's not
Or
Sketch.
Plux.
It's actually Plux. Yeah,
Surprising.
good run there. It's a shame. It's a shame. You know, we'll write the obituaries. Plux is being very, very bullied over in this bot line. I think Plux is seeing more gray than color at this point.
Oh, God. Yeah, it's rough. Since minute 1, Cincinnati Fear had this heavy prio on the bottom side. And now, honestly, Perry is like, hey, Sketch, if you want to be here, that's all well and cool. But you're in trouble.
That's one of the great things about Tristana, is if you time it well, you can buffer that rocket jump out of most crowd controls. We'll get out of that Enchant Crystal Arrow, but Serenok realizing, I'm in this party, and it belongs to Cincinnati Fear. Big celebration for them in the bot side as they get another kill. 8-1 now beat.
Wow. And that's going to be first brick as well in favor of Fear. You gotta imagine CLG Fate, they're feeling just that at the moment here. And those in chat voting for Cincinnati feeling very smug right now about their prediction. And how overwhelmingly in favor it was for Fear. And at this point, it is tough. Your only real holdout for hope at this point is NXI because he does have the farm lead and a kill. So there's a lot of gold into his pocket here. And you do have double support going in here, so it's still possible. You still scale really, really well, and that's kind of what you're banking on here. And it's worth noting, Bajani, he's even topside right now. We know what this champ can do.
And I want to weigh that so heavily onto NXI even more, as NXI is on a champion that can carry, and we know the history of NXI has fantastic mechanics. Historically been a Needle Sin player. You can carry with this Kindred. NXI 1-0-0, CLG Faith to put their faith in NXI, but here we go. Engage onto Plux, and Chad Crystal Arrow goes through, Scatter the Weak. Stun found on both bot laners, and the pain continues.
And on the top side, we see Bajani going the 1-for-1, going for the solo bolo tower dive, and he manages to trade out his life, and I mean, I respect it. But on the bot
we're both shaving our heads now.
Wait, well, okay, hold on. We got to talk about what bets are and how they actually work later. But I think what really matters here, overall, Cincinnati Fear, I mean, they get most of what they get, the better end of this because they get a dragon, they get a kill on the Sketch, and Sketch, who has just been so far removed from this game because of that level 1, is continuing to feel the pressure.
All right, this is what I missed right here as I was casting the team fight. I didn't see how this exchange really went. Outright tower dive, it looks like.
Yeah, full champ. And realistically, you're unstoppable with the W, and constantly just being able to move him out of the turret range gives you a lot going here. And Johnny said, I want it. I want all of that right now. And he went for it.
I like it. I like it. Aggressive play. Is it going to work in the greater scheme? I mean, it slows down the Cole for sure. Jax wants more scaling. Not the worst play, indeed.
No. And I mean, realistically, you do feel that pressure to do make something happen because of how the rest of the map is going here. You still have things to play for and hope for, but we saw what Fear did in game 1. We saw how good they are at snowballing. And that's what you're doing if you're CLG Faith. You want to prevent the snowball, stem the bleeding, if you will, and they're having a difficult time.
So you can Faith get more action going onto that top side, because it appears that Bajani is going to be the engager, is going to be the starter of a lot of these fights. NXI will be the follow-up, so this two-punch combo is really going to be needed out of CLG Faith to have Bajani hold that front line, have NXI bring the DPS. Everyone wants to run that fight with them, but Fear realized that
here we go.
Johnny is not suffering as much as his bot lane is.
Yeah, and they're like, whoa, wait a minute. Asante having fun? Not on my Summoner's Rift, but instead...
My League of Legends.
That's right. So they end up, but instead, because he's walking away, forced the back, they aren't going to do anything else but take this world. And I mean, Cincinnati Fear, we got to give them some props for how they've been playing. Yeah, they've been playing together more than most teams. So far in the NACL, they have that advantage of synergy early on. But I mean, still, it is what it is. They are playing together really well. They're running the map really well. Perry Faisal, this top side of the map, are doing so much work. And Shochi, is able to have that impact as well this game. 3-0 on the Syndra, a player, again, first time at this level. And like the players of Faisal, we wanted to see how he's going to be able to do against the competition here in North American Challengers League. So far, so good. They take a game from a Challengers team, and they are on their way to 2-0ing CLG.
Look how well they've set up the map beat. There's just so much vision, pretty much all rotating around this mid lane. Oh, we had a pentakill.
Okay. Bradley ends up getting a penta. I mean, I know what I'm going back to watch after. And there it is, Team Liquid. 2-0. I mean, from the inkling we heard about game 1, didn't seem like things were going well for Golden Guardian. But, you know, it'd be how it do, right, Eric?
A pentakill for Bradley. After facing off against Faisal, I'm just saying we use, like, what is it called?
Transient properties?
Transient property, thank you.
Of course.
Ooh, following right through. Parry, able to get that Troyukin onto Plux, and Plux doesn't get to play League of Legends.
You know, this is actually really similar to what, not Fear, but Taco Gaming did back when Shochi was on it. They ran something similar with the Vi Ashe, and it's like, I said in champs, like, it's so painful. You get hit by one thing, you get hit by all of the things, and it's, you're seeing the consequences.
And Fear now leading Shally over to this tier 2 top lane. Big crash right there, and the tower will go down. CLG Faith trying for a defense, but they cannot really defend much because that crowd control, that threat, that damage is always there for Fear, and they're feeling it right now.
And they got to back off as a result. The only one with any confidence at the moment here is Bajani. This Cassante forcing Faisal away and is in a really good spot. But oh my god, look at the vision. Like, there is nowhere you can go on your own side of the map without being seen by Cincinnati Fear. And it just gets worse as, yeah. I mean, you know the craziest thing about this, Eric?
What?
We're 18 minutes in the game.
This has been very accelerated, beat.
Yeah! That's what I mean. I looked at the timer and I was like, wait a second. We haven't even been going that long. Because I'm like, oh, only one dragon's been picked up. I wonder what that's about. And I looked at the time. I was like, oh, I see.
Fear's doing a favor to our producers right now and our broadcast partner by accelerating this game after we had such a long TSM game 1.
Wow, good guy, Cincinnati Fear. I mean, is that not worthy of fandom, SRX?
I think so.
I'm sure they would ask you that.
Just why the city Cincinnati, though? That's all I'm going to say.
I know nothing about that city, so I can't say I'm neither here nor there about it, but I do wonder.
All jokes on the side as Fear start to set up over towards this bottom side with complete control of this bottom quadrant of the jungle. And that's going to allow them to easily pick up this Drake if they want to pivot towards it, or just pick up more members of CLG Faith. They'll be able to take down NXI, Scatter the Weak coming from the side of Shochi. Hostile takeover onto the entire backline of CLG Faith. They'll hide underneath the tower. Johnny able to walk away from the jungle, still trying to find more on the Shochi, but scattering the weak. That's exactly what Shochi will do.
He unleashes his power right after, and it just continues to go in favor of Cincinnati. That's going to be a tier 2 out of the picture, and a dragon whenever they want it. But at this point, it's about the map setup. It's not about the soul. They don't need it. They're snowballing so hard right now once again. As they go, oh my goodness.
Oh, a jump onto Minui, but not realizing that the rest of the cavalry was right around the corner. A double kill for Shochi, and Fear will continue running through CLG.
Gonna say maybe something there with NXI coming back off spawn, but nope. Out of the week once again, and they finally get their prize of that mounted Drake. And it's brutal. It is. You have all these.
Not taking it.
Oh, okay. I thought they were gonna take it. Well.
Like the only objective is the Nexus.
Yeah, and also I just realized that not a single turret's been taken yet by CLG. I think that says something about how in control Cincinnati has been all game long.
And with all this vision established deep into their jungle, that's one thing they keep doing. They keep establishing it, leaving, resetting. They'll come back, and they have control of that quadrant once again. They'll go ahead and concede on the bottom side because it appears the best accelerator is going to be the Baron, the big purple worm, under attack by the big purple team.
Yeah, I mean, it's yours. And the beauty of it is you can start the Baron with the lead you have. You can either take it or just fight whenever you want because, again, that pick potential is insane.
Whoa! He jumped into it, and Perry will follow through. Cease and desist going on to the back line. They're trying to find NXI. Going after him. Sketch able to hop through, but Faisal can jump as well. He's got the hops. He's got the boots, and NXI will head back to base. Still, though, Fear is demolishing CLG. What an emphatic performance coming out from this squad. But Johnny getting stunned up, getting routed. So is the rest of CLG pulling through. Faisal goes golden. We'll be able to return 1, but it does not matter because Fear have taken 4.
Now, surely, Baron is on the menu. Is Serenok the only member left limps back to the fountain? And we are going to see it come through here. Baron, Dragon, the world is available to Cincinnati in this game here. And they're just going to continue to be in control. I mean, they're almost 15K up, Eric. And look at these goal differences. Mid especially.
And all that experience that these players have together playing in scrims leading up to this tournament, previous teams, previous years, it shows just how well they click as a unit, how well they click as a team. They all have one set goal, and they drafted for that goal. Pick off members of CLG out of position, and it's working. It's working very well. It's going to lead them to what could be potentially an end of a week 1 on a 3-1 scoreline.
That would be incredible. An incredible start for them here. Dragon isn't there as Bafir once more. Perry is 4-1-10.
Oh, no,
he
Sketch.
can look for... Oh, goodbye.
Oh, no. Sketch punching through. We'll be able to knock Perry to the side, but you're boxing with Perry right now, and Perry's brought in a lot of armor to deal. Those cannonballs coming through. Goes on a rampage. Will take down Sketch while the rest of Fear target the base.
And now it's Faisal.
Hopping onto Bajani. Has the counter-strike. Looking for the stun. Able to get it. Fighting on one end. This is an isolated member that CLG can try and collapse on. Faisal still getting a lot of damage there. Still hopping in. Almost going to take down Bajani.
He went Zanya's.
Oh, he's winning. You're kidding me.
Jax has AP ratios, remember.
Right.
On his E and when he casts his R. So it's something that top laners have been doing on this pick. And I mean, it does open up a lot of options with the constant stasis you have access to when it's off of cooldown. So, you know, I get it.
Yeah.
It's cool. Once you get armor.
Inhibitor going down. Fear going for the push to end it right here and right now. How much CLG Faith can do about it. They got to take a fight. But it's up against Fear when they have a 14K gold lead. You're not getting much better than that, but here we go and engage onto Minui. NXI gonna look to take him down. Has to use the Lamps Respite. But Johnny jumping into the backline. Minui is low, but no one else can focus onto him as Perry focuses down the rest of CLG Faith. Has a quarter health remaining. Cease and desist onto the backline. And there goes another Nexus Tower as Fear do work. In the first week of play, one provisional team will make a statement about all others in the league. There's nothing to fear but Fear themselves.
And that's a 2-0 for Cincinnati Fear. And an incredible weekend for this provisional team. Not only because of how important it is, we keep talking about these wins and how they contribute to not getting relegated, which every provisional team just loves. The fact that they're having such strong performances out the gate bodes really well for them going forward too. And I mean, even though they have this advantage and other teams will catch up soon, I still think this team can continue to improve as well.
You know, that's the thing. Both of these provisional teams are put into an incredibly new environment when it comes to the NACL being one of those 6 teams that have to deal with relegations, that have to deal with all that pressure. Cincinnati Fear, they wasted no time whatsoever getting to work and getting themselves out of that situation, but adaptation can come slow for some of these squads, and it seems that CLG Faith is going to be a squad that it's going to take some time before they do find their footing here in the NACL.
For sure. And I mean, realistically, this is a team that was very recently formed, just got Sketch as their AD carry, so they're...
And had to swap them.
Yeah, look, the split just started. CLG Faith have some time. And I mean, you know how it goes.
Absolutely.
Gotta keep the faith. Faith isn't a thing for fair times and bright days.
And it's not a thing when facing fear, apparently. I want to take the conversation back to them, because my word, what a performance coming out from this squad. I didn't have them ranked low or anything like that. I had them somewhere in the middle of the pack. I did see a lot of the potential in the individual performances, but I didn't realize they were going to click this well as a team.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair, again, given the practice and especially the level of how good their top side is, this is kind of an expected win, but still definitely worthy of praise. Because Cincinnati Fear, I mean, they played well, start to finish. It was honestly pretty clean coming out from it. It's something they should be happy about.
Well, Beatdown, I want you to sing their praises in person. We're going to take a moment to take a quick break, and as we return, we'll have Minui, an interview, joining Beatdown.
What's going on, everybody? I am back, this time with Minui, AD carry for Cincinnati Fear, off of probably the most dominating performance we have seen in NACL. And first thing I gotta ask you, Minui, I mean, after a win like that, what are the vibes like with the team?
Vibes after the win were pretty chill. They were a bit less hyped than yesterday's win, but we were still definitely really happy to see that we were able to have a dominant win over this team.
Nice. I mean, it was a great performance. You especially ran them in the bottom lane, so it was very fun to see if you're a fan of Cincinnati. So the next thing I want to ask you about is, you have a lot of experience playing with Perry. I mean, with these guys in general. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about it?
Yeah, so me and Perry kind of started out getting to know each other since the start of Amateur. I didn't really know anything about Amateur. Perry didn't know anything about Amateur. So we played a bit on Wildcard Dev, which Myra ran. And then we also were able to play in high school leagues together. And then slowly on Wildcard Dev with other friends of ours, we were able to kind of make a name for ourselves. Even though we didn't play in many leagues, we were able to connect through to other people such as Draxter and other friends, and then we were able to kind of like make ourselves known in the community. And yeah,
that's dope. I mean, and you have a lot of experience, I mean, like with these players like, as a whole, not just these last couple of months, but over like years, right? Could you talk about that a little more?
Yeah, so Faisal, so there's two players on our team I've never played with. It was Faisal and Trevor, but both of these people have also been friends of mine since like maybe a year or two ago. So it was really nice to be able to finally play with my friends, and I really wanted to play with both Faisal and Trevor. As for Shochi, me and Shochi and Perry played on a team called Not Zeus for UPL, and that was probably, I would say, and maybe they would say too, their like life-changing team, even though it was only in UPL. But we were able to learn a lot under the team with Draxter, and our last person was hold on. It was me, Draxter, Perry, Shochi, and am I missing a top or support? Oh, and Raheen. Raheen was also there to help us.
Nice. I mean, obviously a lot of history going on here. This synergy clearly dates before you guys gathered as a roster. And I think the last thing I want to ask you is, do you... Like, obviously, you guys are feeling good. You took a game off a Challengers team yesterday. You 2-0 today. How are you guys feeling about going the rest of the split, about how you guys are going to do? Some people are saying you guys might fall off. What are your thoughts on that?
I feel like the people who say we're falling off, I'm just going to outright say they're kind of coping.
Okay.
Like, I'm not sure what they're thinking and why they think that we are at our peak right now, just because we're friends. But in my opinion, because we're friends and because I see like the rest of my teammates' potentials to be so high, I don't think our limit is right now. I think our limit is way higher, and I just think that if you're underestimating us, you're gonna lose really badly.
Love that. That's what you like to hear. So lastly, Minui, any shout outs you want to give to anybody? Anything you want to say quick before we throw it up to a break?
I want to shout out our coach Kiao, our positional coach Leo, and our manager, but mostly Kiao and Leo, because they've been doing a like Smurf job of prepping us for this week and prepping us for this tournament. And after that, I want to shout out my family who helped us at the team get this house and was able to like find a house for everyone to be able to live in for a decent price. And I want to shout out my girlfriend. Thank you.
Love that. Thank you so much again, everybody. Minui Cincinnati Fear off a 2-0 finish against CLG Faith. We're going to throw it to a quick break, and then I'll be back with Deserex and Myra for our last series of the night. Take it easy, Minue.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.